I'm still a stockbroker. Get a call at the office from Fish. Can you grab Wildman and Seth and come over here right now? We've got a situation. I said, what's the situation? He said, I don't want to say on the phone. So all right, I'll go and grab them and I'll come right over. So I went to look for Wildman and Seth, another big guy, and they were collecting crack debts for this Colombian guy in Central Phoenix, so I couldn't get a hold of them. So I went to Fish's apartment on my own. When I arrived at Fish's apartment, Fish and his girlfriend answered the door, and I could see the girlfriend crying. I'm thinking, oh no, she's been assaulted and they want Wildman to do the guy in. This must be what's happened. And I'm looking at them like, what's happened? And they're not saying anything. Then all of a sudden, Stephen, I hear zzz, zzz, zzz. I'm like, and they're like, you better go and look. So I walk into this other room, and as I walk into the room, there's a naked, hog-tied man, gagged like a rocking horse. The guy with the silver swept-back hair, he's stood over a group of Mexicans with cattle prods. And when he gives the order in Spanish, they cattle prod the guy, piss shoots out of his dick, his eyes almost pop out of his head. He can't say anything because he's muffled, and he starts rocking like a rocking horse. And I'm thinking, I've never seen anything this heavy before in my life. I'm shitting myself. I'm just a stockbroker. If I show fear in this situation, these guys are going to think I'm a liability. Yeah. So what do? So I say to the guy with the silver hair, who's looking at me with like a welcome to the family smile, I say to him, looks like you guys have got the situation under control. I'll tell Wildman, you know, that he's not needed, and kind of like try to get out of there in a hurry. As I'm leaving, I see Fish and his girlfriend again near the front door, and I said to them, what the hell happened? What's going on? And they said, well, you know, like, I'm selling your pills, I'm also selling stuff for them. The guy on the floor, he's one of my customers, and he watched the place, came back, tried to rob it, we got him. He was stealing your stuff, he was stealing their stuff. I called you, I called them, and they got there first. And what ultimately happened was, I didn't know this until a few days later, I was driving back to the stock brokerage and I couldn't get the guy's head out of my face, out of my head. I just thought, you know, are they going to kill him or what? I felt really bad. I didn't fully understand what was going to happen to him, and it was haunting me. And then I spoke to Fish, and he said that they just called the guy's roommates and asked for 10 grand, or they were going to take him out to the desert, and they paid the 10 grand and let him go.
Who do you think was the most dangerous you've ever met, out of all these guys?
The most dangerous?
I mean, for pure dangerousness.
Oh, Gordon Bennett, boy.
There's a few I know, but what's the main one?
I say Warren Slaney would be one of them. Most feared, right? He's not willing to take defeat too easily, because he's innocent. I believe he was innocent of his crimes.
I do too.
Not a very happy man, to be honest.
Not a happy man, no.
Dangerous man, Gary Nelson, if it goes, you know what I mean? But he won't. Garrison. He doesn't bully. Doesn't look for trouble as well. It'll always come his way. Tony Argent, seriously dangerous. Build a bomb, Billy Williams, from Canning Town as well. Rest in peace. From Liverpool, you know, you had people like Barry Williams, Andy Shack Lady, you had Curtis Warren, and all had presence, and you know what I mean, there's loads, men that you just looked at that you knew that they was on a complete different level with all the skills.
Yeah, the skills, yeah. Who did you fear the most?
Who did I fear the most?
Who was you the most wary of? There's always a few of them around too. I have to be honest.
I've been around.
Be mindful.
I didn't really. He likes me though. It seems like all the nutters like me. Nicholas.
Not fear, but you just be mindful.
Mindful. You have to look around.
Yeah, mindful till it goes off.
Victor Castigator.
Yeah.
Nicholas Fanage. Right. Victor, but he likes me as well. But you'd be always weary that you might be next, kind of thing. Boxer John Inamici. But rest in peace now as well. Very serious man. Another one who let me off the hook.
What happened with G-Dog and Sammy Gravano's son, right? in prison there, because there was something that went on there, and we can go into this a little bit and open this out and see what the truth is with this stuff. What was that about?
So when I first met some representatives from Sammy the Bull's crew, I didn't know who they were, and we had a meeting and they tried to get us to move their product, and I said no, and then Skinner's teeth got knocked out. So we've got this thing going on with Sammy the Bull's crew, and we're not sure who they all are and who they all are not. Some of them seem to be friendly with us, some of them seem to want to kill us. And what happened was the cops rounded them up before they rounded us up. There was a multi-agency investigation, all those resources were put on Gravano because he's such a big name. And when Gerard was in Towers jail, I think, on that first roundup, G-Dog was in there as well. And Gerard was bad-mouthing the English, and G-Dog stepped up to him and said, look, they're with us. So that's when Gerard would have found out we had the backing of the New Mexican Mafia. Yeah. When me and Wildman then got arrested May 16, 2002, months later, Gerard circulated back into our orbit in the jail. And he was an excellent arm wrestler, very strong, stocky young man. And what the guards did was, we were going to court one night and they chained Wildman to Gerard to see what would happen. Because, you know, the guards they like people to fight, they make bets on who's going to win.
They set you up for this stuff.
Yeah, and Wildman's looking at me like, you know, should I do something here? And I'm like, Peter, let's just talk to him. You know, he's been in the system a couple of years before us now. Let's find out what the tricks are the prosecutor's trying to pull on him, how his case is going, and absorb any information from him that we can. So we spent a night chained up to Gerard. They wake you up at like 11 at night. Court's next day, but you're going through holding cells all night long. They try and wear you down psychologically. And we spent a night chained to Gerard, and he told us a lot about, you know, what was going on with his case and stuff like that. But let me just make it clear. Sammy the Bull Gravano was not the runner of the ecstasy ring. That was run by a guy called Mike Papa, and Mike Papa was doing it, and he brought in Gerard Gravano and he brought in Karen Gravano. So the kids knew what was going on at the street level. The dad, he got busted on a call to the son saying, I need some money for gas, and the dad said, yes, I'll give you some money for gas, so many thousands. And that was the dad putting money into the ecstasy ring, and he was giving Gerard advice, so we had this advisory role. But the prosecutor saw this big name, made this big headline out of it.
And jumped on it. This is what they're doing.
Yeah, Sammy the Bull's ecstasy ring.
And we'll take that too. You know?
Plus,
and elevate it, and, you know, 5 and 5 makes 162.
Plus, a lot of the people working for the Gravano enterprise at the street level, for example, the first meeting I had, they were like, well, one call to Sammy the Bull and we can have you taken out to the desert. So at that time, I did think Sammy the Bull was running that ecstasy ring, because so many people were throwing his name at me.